Some interesting facts and myths about the equator. The equator is just under 25,000 miles long because the Earth bulges at the center. The equator is the longest of our planet's 5 main circles of latitude, which one based on the relationship between the Earth's axis of rotation and the Earth's orbit around the Sun. Astrologers have also identified an imaginary circle in the heavens, obtained when the Earth's equator is projected into the night sky. This is known as the celestial equator. The equator itself across the land or territorial waters of 14 countries. If you live on the equator, you will experience the quickest rates of sunrise and sunset in the world, taking a matter of minutes. These places also have a constant 12 hours of day and night throughout the year, while north or south of the equator day length increasingly varies with seasons. It is mistakenly believed that the weather on the equator stays the same, while tropical areas along the equator can experience wet and dry seasons. Other regions may well be wet for much of the year. While temperatures at the equator are very high, there is one single point on the equator where you will find snow. The highest point on the equator is 4,690 meters on the south slopes of VOLCAN CAYAMBE in Ecuador, so in theory you could go skiing on the equator. In what might seem to be a contradictory pair of facts, the parts of the earth that lie on the equator mark both the area with the world's greatest concentration of natural biodiversity and also human poverty. It is also the case that almost half the world's rainforests are concentrated on the equator in just 3 countries: Brazil, Congo, and Indonesia. Now let's talk about some myths regarding equator. It has been said that water spirals down plug holes in different directions depending on which hemisphere you are in. This is a myth based on the effects of Coriolis, which refers to when the rotating earth causes the winds to deflect to the right in the northern hemisphere and the left south of the equator. The effect Coriolis has on water going down sinks in minimal. The truth is, the water tends to flow down the plug hole in the direction it is introduced into a sink. A common belief is that the moon always appears to flip upside down once you cross the equator. While this is not exactly a myth, it is not generally the case. And there is another interesting fact regarding crossing of equator. For sailors, those who have never crossed the line or equator are referred to as polyogs and are required to undertake various initiations rituals performed by those members of the crew who have made the journey before in order to pay respect to King Neptune of the deep. Upon completion of initiation ceremony, the polyogs are also known as trusty shellbacks. Thanks for watching.